Keep going here. Tiffany, real quick, how did y'all get started? Did you just wake up one day and say, we're gonna flip mobiles?
No, we didn't. We this actually was an accident that we stumbled upon. I'll tell our story, briefly. We um we started investing in real estate, and I decided to just focus on one thing. So I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I am fourth generation. Um my parents own businesses, my grandparents own businesses, my great grandparents own businesses. So had the shiny object syndrome, going from thing to thing to thing to thing. But I always knew my mom is a real estate broker. My dad has developed some commercial real estate. So I always knew I wanted to get into real estate investing. I took the leap in 2015. My husband introduced me to a friend of his who was a wholesaler, because I will say, my mom being a broker, she deals with on market real estate. Being a real estate investor, in my opinion, is completely different. Like, typically you're going by a different set of rules, a different set of
Yes.
calculations, and what makes sense. So although I had that experience of showing houses with my mom and being around real estate, I literally had to start from scratch. So my husband introduced me to a friend who was a full-time wholesaler. He became a mentor of ours and has continued to be until this day. But in
Right.
2015, I made the sole intentional decision to only focus on real estate as a business venture.
Okay.
In 2016, we got two properties. We acquired two properties subject to. Um, I won't elaborate on what subject to means, but those were our first two properties. Were subject to properties, and it did not go well with those. We had some nightmare situations with tenants, and I kind of stepped away for a while. And then we tried to get some properties under contract to flip, and it just felt like things weren't coming together. Fast forward to October 2019, my husband kind of encouraged me. We were expecting our fourth baby. He encouraged me, like, hey, I really think we should get back into the real estate game. I was reluctant, but we ended up sending some direct mail to an eviction list. And a gentleman called us and told us he had 14 mobile homes that he wanted to unload. And at the time, I had no experience. I'm like, oh, when he told me what his asset was, I wasn't gonna call this man back. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
trailer, like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You can't make money off of a trailer. I
Right.
stumbled upon, but me and my husband have this saying that says, look well into the matter. So I'll at least look into it. I won't just reject it. I'll at least look into it. 2 days later, I stumble upon a YouTube video about mobile home investing and realize the profit margins,
Hmm.
and did some calculations. Went to this gentleman, and we were able to pick up four mobile homes. So,
Hey.
in a very abbreviated version, that's how we got our start.
So you called that eviction list, or you sent out letters to that eviction list. It opportunity slaps you in the face, and you're like, uh, that sounds awful.
Yes.
And then you say, wait a minute. Maybe there's something there. And now, we're 3 years later. Um, and you have absolutely made a big business out of this. How many mobiles are you flipping, a year? Like, how many are you doing?
A year, I would say this is probably like our most serious and consistent year. We're now flipping like four mobile homes a month. So this year I've kind of lost count. I wish I could pull up my like profit and loss statements on each one.
Yeah.
But right now, in terms of like deals, we have about four in rotation a month. And that's acquisition, maybe we have one under contract. We may have one that we're or two, well, one that we've purchased, one that's about to close. It's always that loop, but we've consistently had four in that cycle each month.
That's very impressive.